In this video, we'll learn what is pivot table and a function something similar to it, that is VLOOKUP. So the only difference between a table and a pivot table is that in a table, here you can see a lot of data here, which is a table. So it has a fixed data, and whereas in pivot table, the data are not fixed, they are flexible. And in a table, it gives you the whole part of the data, but in a pivot table, it gives you a summarized view of the data. So a summarized means all the data will not be shown. You will be able to select what kind of data you want to select and show it on the table. And in a fixed table, the data are all combined together, so it becomes quite complicated. But in a pivot table, it gives you the data in an arranged manner. So let us see how we can create a pivot table by using a fixed table. So in order to make a pivot table, you'll have to go to insert and go to pivot table, select pivot table, and in Excel it automatically selects the entire part of the data that is already written in here. Obviously you can also select by yourself also, but let's see, but in this case it's already selected, so no need to change. And I also want to create the pivot table in a new sheet. So the new worksheet should be selected. So I'm going to click OK. And in here, this is the part where you can manage the pivot table. So in here, I will try to put order ID and product. Will be putting that later, but the category I want to put it in the report filter, because by using category only, either it's vegetable or fruit, I'm going to change the table. Put the category in the filter here, and the products will be in the column, and the total number of the items will be just below that, so it'll be in the row. That's why I'm going to put the country in the row part, and what kind of values you want to show it here. So that value will be, I'm going to put the amount in that area, so the values will be the amount. So as you can see in the pivot table, uh, in the fixed table there were a lot of data here, but in here it somehow gives you the arranged part of the table, the summarized part of the table, where you can go to row labels, and suppose say I want to show only the country, only one country for now. Let's say for Canada I want to show, so I'm going to click on Canada and OK. So this is the part only for Canada. So I can, by the category, if I want to show only the fruits, I can select fruits only, click OK. So these are the fruits, and suppose here if I want to show all of them, I can click all, and here it is. So in here I can select all. So in that manner, suppose say if I want to make chart out of these two data, I can select these two data and go to insert, and let us insert a chart, like a simple column chart. And here we have a chart here, and suppose say if I change the country again, instead of Canada, let's select France. Okay, so you can see the chart is also changed. So in that way you can always create a pivot table where you can summarize it, where you can summarize a table which has a lot of data, but in a pivot table you'll see a summarized part of the data. Now let us go and see what is VLOOKUP function. Suppose in this table I have some products here and the corresponding price to the products. So suppose if I write product here and the price here, okay, and if I write a product name called marker, obviously I'm going to go and look add the marker and check that the price is 25. I'm going to write here. Okay, suppose if I change it as a board, and if I go and look up this table, it's going to see that I'm going to see that the price corresponding to it is 1500. So I'm going to write 1500 there. And that is the human way of finding the price, looking at the table. But suppose, what if I have a lot of, but what if there are a lot of products that it takes a lot of time for me to search and then write the price according to it. So in order to avoid consuming time, VLOOKUP helps you to find those prices corresponding to the products. So in order to make a VLOOKUP table, here and the product name will be typed by yourself, and then the price should come by itself. So in order to do that, in this portion I'm going to write the VLOOKUP function name, and here I'm going to click here because see, this is the lookup value, and when we find the price, we always look for the name first, and then we write the price. So something like that, we have to look at this name first. So that's how we write F8 here, or you can directly select that, comma, and the double area. Double area means the portion which has all the product names in the price. So that is double array, and in this portion I want to show the price of the products. So where is the, among these two columns, which one has the price? You're going to write that. It's not the first column, it is the second column. So I'm going to write second column, and it also asks for approximate match, exact match. So if it is true, it's going to be approximate match, and if it is false, it will be a exact match. I want the exact match of the price, so I'm going to write 0, which means false. And if I hit enter, it's NA because I haven't written any name here. So if I write pen here, it should show the price of that pen, which is exactly the same here. If I write keyboard and hit enter, the price of the keyboard should be shown. So that is how a VLOOKUP function works.